Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a sort of declutter video. These are all products that I've gone through my collection and they're either really old, I don't use them, I haven't used them for at least a good year now, if not longer, and I thought it's best to get rid of them. Now, when it comes to makeup and decluttering, I'm not a big fan of just throwing everything out. If there's anything that I know is not off and I can sort of like sterilize it and pass it on to someone that will like them, if it's a decent product, then I try to do that. But most of these products are super old and you know, like eye products and stuff that I don't really want to pass on. So I'm just going through my collection and I was just like, I don't need this stuff, I'm not going to use it, it's taking up space. And this year for me is sort of like trying to organize my collection. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go through these products. I'm going to give some of them a second chance. I'm going to apply them, try them on. I sort of have a full face of makeup here. And then there's other products that I'll just tell you why I don't like them or why I don't use them or why I'm chucking them out. So yeah, full face is sort of like declutter makeup, and I like to do this sort of off camera anyway. If there's a product that I'm like, I don't know if I still want you, I haven't used you in ages, I sort of give it a second chance. I try it, analyze it, do I like how it looks, can I keep it, can I, you know, maybe put it in my project pan and use it up. If the answer is yes, I will keep it and use it. If not, it goes in the bin. So that's what this, I'm just doing it on camera this time. All right, so I do have multiples of different categories, like lots of highlighters, lots of brow products, etc, etc. And what I was thinking of doing was holding off and just testing one type of each product and do this every few months. But I've got so much makeup that I think I can still do that while getting rid of like this, doing this bit of a purge. But the first product that I really don't like, but I'm willing to give another go, is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. Now I've had this for about a year now, and it is this thick sort of primer that is, it's like, it's not a silicone, but it has like a silicone feel to it where it sort of blurs your skin. But I find with this, firstly, it's really firm and I don't like the feel of it, but it does sort of blur your pores. But I find because it's got a lot of silica in it, I'm pretty sure, it also breaks down my foundation really quickly. So even though it did take away some shine just because it's got the sort of silica in it, I just find that it's not good for the longevity of my foundation. And because I do have oily skin, longevity of foundation is the thing I always go for. I don't care if it's sheer coverage, I don't care if it's dewy, I don't care if it's matte, I don't care as long as it wears well on me. And this breaks down most of the products that I've used it under. So that's just a demonstration of it, but I probably won't give this another go. Okay, I'm using natural light, so I'm gonna have to change the brightness as I go because it changes a lot. But I've got two BB cream type products from Bioderma. Now I don't love BB creams. They're sort of too dewy for me, but this is the Photoderm BB cream, and this is in a really dark color. Now I'm actually thinking of giving this to my mum. She's a bit darker than me. And then we've got the Sensibo BB cream anti-redness, and this is in light. So they're both different products. I'm going to put one on one side, one on the other side. Now that is light for this, which I don't think is very light. It looks quite beige, or like even golden beige. But I suppose, when you blend it in, it's not too bad. Now I like these sort of products. I like sort of skincare based products. I think they look really nice. But for me, these are more of, I don't know, like they're more of a no makeup for me. So you can see it just takes away some of that discoloration, but it's still sort of dewy and a little bit skincare-ish. And I don't hate it, and I see a place for it. But for me, if I'm going to wear minimal makeup like that, I just don't wear any makeup. So for me, it's sort of like all or nothing. I find it hard to just do minimal. This is that other one. It is definitely a more yellow color. Oh, it's very runny as well. Yeah, that's definitely more golden. Definitely not my color. It's a lot thinner. So it adds a bit of color, but it's I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't add much coverage. It just adds a golden kind of color, but you can still see through like pretty much to everything. If I had to pick one that I like the consistency of, I think I prefer, or the look of, I think I prefer this one. I think I might actually keep this one and pass this one on. It's definitely not my color. What's the benefits of it? So the benefit of this is that it is SPF 50 plus. This one is SPF 30. So the SPF in this runny one, this golden one, is a lot better, but it just doesn't suit me. And I don't also like that it just deposits color, but doesn't actually add any coverage. You can still see the redness on my cheeks. Whereas this one was a better color match for me, but because it was thicker, it actually like evened out my skin tone. It just didn't add random goldness. So I much prefer this over this. Okay, I'm gonna go in just over the top with that first one because the first one seems to work a lot better at just being a base. It's got a nicer sort of skincare consistency to it too. It feels a lot more hydrating. Yeah, I like the first one. And clearly both of those are too dark for me because now I look like I've got a tomato face compared to my neck. So I'm not going to blend it down my neck. I would, but I'm just going to take this off. So yeah, we'll live with it, shall we? Giving this to my mum, I think she'll like it. It feels like a really nice product and it's a good color and coverage. This is just like a golden tinted, it's great sun protection, but it's just, no. It's already looking fab. All right, so now I've got two NYX. These are the dark circle concealers. I've got one in fair and one in medium. I would say that I'm probably closer to fair than I am medium, or a combination of the two. Okay, I've got one light. Hope it keeps things a little bit more stable. I've also got a cat. Meow. All right, so concealers. These concealers are supposed to be like dark circle concealers, so full coverage. I tried them, they're a bit firm and I never thought they were actually very good coverage. So I'm going to play around with them. And because usually I go light, I'm going to mix the fair and the medium. So yeah, I don't know. Like they definitely have okay. I feel like they're very thin, which is not too bad. Doesn't look too bad. I just don't like pot set things. They're so annoying and they're not my shade individually. Just see how they apply with the finger. I don't really like them. I feel like they brightened the under eye area, but they definitely didn't hide the dark areas that they're supposed to. And also they don't sit on the skin very smoothly. They kind of gather in the fine lines. So I've had those for a while. I haven't used them for a long time and I understand why. They're definitely not the worst concealer that I've ever tried, but I don't reach for them and I've had them in my collection for over a year. So I'm going to get rid of them. I really do like the sort of not creamy set pan ones. I like the thinner ones with a lot of coverage that set really quickly. This still feels a little bit tacky and it just sort of like, yeah, it's not bad, but I feel like I can get the same effect with a decent coverage foundation. Okay, I don't have a powder, so we're just gonna go straight to kind of like contouring products. I've actually got two of these, one unused, and this is one that has been used. This is the Combi foundation in T5 and YH, maybe, by Kryolan. This is super old. It is like a cream foundation. So you get a light shade and a dark shade. And what I liked about this was when I first used this yellow shade is really good at brightening. So if you did want to put it on a sponge or something to just brighten the area, it works really well. But I went back into this more recently and the texture is a little bit kind of drying out a little bit, but also I tried to use the contour sort of shade and it's very, very yellow for me. I think back when I first got this and I sort of really enjoyed using it, I was probably a lot more tanned. So I'm going to attempt to use them and then decide if I want to keep it. I've got this Eco Tools Airbrush Complexion Sponge. I'm just going to go in with the contour shade. It's too dark for me, so what I used to do was sort of mix the two, and that's why it looked so dirty to begin with. But I'm going to see if I was right and if this is too sort of warm for me these days. It's not that bad, but it's just not that good. Look, they're not bad products. They blend quite well, but this looks very red on me. It's really sort of adding to that tomato look that I've got going on, but it doesn't blend too badly. Like, I don't hate the product. Like I said, I've actually got another one of these that's unused. So whatever happens, if I chuck this out, I still have one if I wanted it, but too warm for me, I reckon. Look, it's not the worst product in the world. It definitely works as like a cream sort of bronzer product, but the color is just not for me. Even when I mix it with the light shade, it's not for me. I'm getting rid of it. I probably should get rid of the other one I have as well, but I might pass that one on since I haven't actually used it, but this is not the look I tend to like going for. All right, I've got 3 blushes that I sort of want to get rid of. One is just this Makeup Design. It's a very cheap brand. It's just a powdery light blush that barely shows up on my skin, and it's just very dupeable and not the best. And then the next 2 things that I might demonstrate, one is the L'Oreal Le Blush. This is in Luminous Rose, and this is very light and very glittery. Now, I like a shimmery blush, but I don't like a glittery blush so much. You can see, I don't know if you can actually see. I'm not sure if you can actually see, but it's got silver particles in it, and it looks a little bit like you've just got a lot of fallout on your face. So I'm going to test that on one side, and then I also have this NYX Illuminator in Magnetic, which is also a similar thing, but a peachy one. This has, it's a peachy, really firm product, and it's got gold sparkle in it, and it's very powdery, so you can barely see that on my skin at all. But once again, it's just a really sort of flaky, dry product with glitter in it. So let's try to put one on one side and one on the other side. These are not blushes I tend to like going for. I don't mind a glow, I just don't want to. Yeah, that's just depositing little bits of glitter. Okay, so I've just zoomed you in, and I don't know if you can see, but I've put a lot on, and all you can really see is glitter flakes. The color's not bad, it's just not what I'm really into. And now let's try this one on this cheek. At least it's got some color in it, not a color for me. Okay, I've got multiple highlighters that I'm thinking of decluttering. 2 are sort of breaking my heart, and I really want to give them another go. They're by Becca, and they are the Shimmering Skin Perfectors. These are the original sort of ones in the kind of pump. These are beautiful. They give a really, really nice sort of wet look. I'm going to wipe my hands so I can show you. They give a really, really beautiful wet look sort of shimmer, but they are a cream product. You can use them on your body, you can use them on your face, you can mix them with your foundation. But I was actually trying to use these mixed with my foundation. They're really, really beautiful on the skin. I did try to use them mixed with my foundation, and the problem was that they just make my foundation apply really patchy. So under my foundation, mixed in my foundation, they didn't work, but they do give a beautiful like luminous finish to the skin. So I've got one in Opal, which is the one I just showed, and then I've got one in Pearl, which is this white one. And these, you know, if you make these work, they're beautiful. They're so lovely. And these are costly. I bought them years and years and years ago. This is Pearl, so it's more of a silver kind of versus this sort of goldy one. They are just beautiful on the skin. Oh, they're so nice. But I just find that 9 times out of 10, these don't work on my face. Now, I find that if I set my foundation with something like a powder, these lift my foundation. You really need to apply this with something like just a dewy sort of product that doesn't really lift when you apply a cream product over the top. So I sort of wanted to give this another go. If I can make it work, like I said, I really want to try it. I've been trying for a little while now how to make it work, like mixing with foundation. I can't. I think it's best just apply it on bare skin. I've just got a little bit on a beauty blender, and because I haven't set my face, this might work quite well. But when it does work, it is gorgeous. When it doesn't work, it is hideous. So you can see that it gives almost like a wet look, sort of beautiful finish to the skin, but you need to do it with dewy foundation that you haven't set, because when you've set it, it just looks really bad. But I really like the effect of it. I think it's a gorgeous highlighter, and I'm very torn. And I'm going to try this pearl one on the other side. And I know the light is going crazy, guys. It's really sunny one minute, really dark the next minute. I can't control the weather. But this is the sort of lighter one. Once again, they do look really beautiful on the skin, but you can't wear them over set makeup. And if you do powder on top of this, it takes away the glow because it's sort of like a more subtle glow. So there's like no real point to it. I'm so torn. What I might do to compromise is get rid of this one that I think is too light for me and keep this opal one that I might use as like a leg highlighter. This doesn't really work on the legs, does it? I might try quickly. Yeah, this just amplifies my pale legs. So I might get rid of this one and I might keep this one here because it is a beautiful product if you can get it to work. But like I said, it works best when you're just putting it on bare skin, and I don't tend to wear highlighter when I'm wearing no makeup, so I don't reach for this. I would like consider giving this away to someone, but because it's probably going on something like 4 years old, I think that's a little bit irresponsible. So I might happily keep this and use it on my body. All right, now it's raining, so this weather is the worst. Anyway, there was another product that was similar that I was umming and ahhing about. This one I would sort of happily gift away to someone because I think I only got this last year. It's by Red Earth. It's a secret potion illuminating skin fluid. It's sort of similar to this. I don't need them both. This sort of looks a little bit more glittery, and it's a lot more runny. Once again, it looks so beautiful on the skin. It's a lot more, I don't know if I just applied more in a pump, but it looks definitely more, I don't know, gold and extreme. It's got a really bad fragrance that I can't handle though. So even though I would wear this on this, like the body, I think I might pass this on if anyone that I know wants it because it's a nice product. But it's probably a bit too intense for my body, and the smell is it's a little bit like, I don't know, lilac, strong floral lilac sort of perfume, and it just gives me a bit of a headache. So the one that I'm keeping is this guy, and I'm going to try to use it on no makeup days and also on my body. While I'm here as well, I've got this Lancome Juicy Shaker. I've got some dry lips at the moment. So this has like pigment that you shake and a lip oil, and you put it on. It's actually a really cute bottle. You put it on like this and you put on your lips. This is another thing that I'm considering getting rid of, even though it's kind of like a cool product. So even though this sort of looks good when you first put it on, I find it's one of those oils that actually make your lips drier the more you use it. So I'm putting it on now just to see how I feel about it after I finish this, but this is probably going to go as well. All right, more highlighters that I have been meaning to get rid of. I did a ColourPop video talking about my favorite products in ColourPop and things that I don't like. And I mentioned these three Super Shock cheeks that are sort of like, they're not like a beautiful shimmery formula. They're like chunks of glitter, and these are nice colors. It's like a purple, a pink, and a green. And when I was sort of into colored highlighters, I thought, oh, these would be really fun. But because these are just like little specks of glitter, they're not super flattering. They kind of look chunky. They look a little bit junior. So I thought I'll demonstrate a couple of them, and I'm gonna get rid of them because I don't like them. So highlighter on top of highlighter. I've got a beautiful sheen that's really flattering from that Becca one, and then let's just put this on top just to ruin it a little bit. So it looks quite intense, but if you get close up, which I might show you soon, it is just like just glitter. It's just glitter. So that one there is in the shade Honeymoon, which is the purpley kind of one, and I might put the pink one on the other side, which is Over the Moon. They're just not great. Oh, that sort of chunks with the product that I had underneath it. So hopefully you can see it there. It actually doesn't look too bad from a distance, but up close, I don't like it. And that's the other one. So you can see it's just a bunch of like glitter. So these aren't actually bad products. They're not just products that I like. I love these highlighters. I rave about them all the time, just in general. The ones that are sort of like beautiful, metallic, and sort of just a sheen, they're gorgeous. But these ones with the chunks of glitter, not for me personally, but you know, if you like that look, you know, they're not too bad. I just don't use them. All right, then we're getting this guy, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Fixing Mist. So it is a setting spray, and it's got powder that you have to mix into this fluid, and then you spray it to fix your makeup. And I think the powder is supposed to absorb oil, so it keeps you sort of like mattified. But the reason why I don't love this is because if you don't shake it really well, it'll leave little white dots on your face. And I just don't think it's worth the hassle. So for me, I'm not going to use this. It's not my favorite. I did shake it up a lot, and it didn't actually dispense any like dots, which I'm happy about. That concealer is not looking good though. I'm glad I'm getting rid of that. Ew. All right, onto eyes, and I've got some Maybelline color tattoos that I haven't used in over a year, and I just thought I'm going to try them and see what I think. This one is in the shade Creamy Beige. It's a little bit dark for just a normal base, but I'll give it a go. We also have Vintage Plum. You can see this one's starting to dry out. They're very dark shades, these ones. And I've got Dramatic Black. Now, I was sort of keen to keep this because I don't really have a black base, but then again, I've got black gel eyeliners, so I don't really think I need this. I'm going to swatch them though. Oh, they're very firm and dry. It's the black one. The black one. That's the purple one. And that's the beige one. I might try the beige one on my eyes today. These are much drier than I sort of like from a base. I just don't think they need to be this firm. But I'm going to apply it with my finger. Looks like I've been doing something gross. I used to love these when they first came on the market, just the first like range of color tattoos. They were some of the most sort of like affordable sort of, I don't know, cream eyeshadow primer type products back in the day, but I think they have been surpassed by many brands. So, you know, even though they do work, I don't reach for them. And even if you do store them really well, they dry out really quickly. So I've had MAC paint pots that I've had for way longer than these, and they still are beautiful and creamy. These are really hard, so I'm gonna pass on these. All right, I've got a few eyeshadows that I'm going to play with. I was having a look at my Dusty Girls. These are single eyeshadows, and they've since turned these, I think, into a palette. I don't mind this brand. It's an Australian sort of like vegan brand, and I think if you're after really natural eyeshadows, they're quite nice. That one is a beautiful sort of beigey shade that has a really slight gold shift. Yeah, that one's just a normal matte cream, that one there. Okay, so I am very torn because after swatching them, I think they're very, like, they are a nice single eyeshadow. I just find I don't reach for single eyeshadows unless they're really special. I do want to keep the nude cream shade, just the matte cream shade, because I like to use those to set my eyeshadow base. This sort of taupe color is really beautiful, so I might keep that too. Oh, this is what happens when I play with makeup. And this one that's got that gold sheen, it's like just a nice sort of rosy nude shade with a gold sheen. I'm tempted to try this as a highlighter. Okay, I don't even know where I can highlight. On my nose. Oh, it's a nice gold, isn't it? It's a nice subtle sort of gold color. All right. Okay, I'm keeping two and I'm getting rid of two. I'm keeping the matte cream color, which is going buff, and I'm keeping the beautiful taupe, which is called Summer Tan. The beautiful taupe, I can see myself panning in the future. Paper Bark, which is that beautiful sort of gold, I would consider using in a project pan as a highlighter, but at the same time, I have highlighters that I need to use, and I have highlighters that have similar effects. So I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm getting rid of this sort of kind of darker shade that's got a bit of a coppery bronze color to it. It's pretty, but I've got other shades that are like it, that are prettier. And I find that once again, I don't reach for single eyeshadows unless they're super practical, like just a cream, or unless they're super special, and those aren't special enough. Okay, I might actually put this taupe one on and see if it's worth keeping, if it's special enough. Okay, it's hard to tell. These are so natural. These are just like, if you're one of those people that just like to use one shade all over the lid and just blend it out, and have a natural look, this is a kind of shadow for you. It's not really for me, but I do like the color. I'm so torn. Now, I'm going to get rid of that as well and just keep the cream that's really, really practical. Something I'm definitely getting rid of is the Maybelline, the Blushed Nudes palette. I don't reach for this. I like the colors. I'm getting back into cooler toned eyeshadows, but I sort of want something like this, but better pigmentation. I'll just apply some just to give an example. All right, I'm going to put a dark kind of gray in the crease. It's a nice color. They're not super pigmented, a little bit patchy, but I like the color palette of it. Oh, yeah, I feel like they're all a little bit chalky, and some of them have nice pigmentation, but no, I'm gonna get rid of it. But I want to see a brand like Anastasia or someone with really good pigmentation bring out a color palette like that. All right, I've got heaps of brow products. I've got a drawer full of brow products, and it takes me like 6 months to use any brow products. So I kind of went through some that are getting old. I've got a Chi Chi brow pomade that I bought the same time as I bought the Anastasia one. This is too dark for me. And I used up the Anastasia one last year. I was very proud of myself. It took all year, and I'm not gonna do that with this. So I'm getting rid of that. Then I've got some sort of drugstore brow products. These are Brow Drama Pomade Crayons by Maybelline. So we've got different shades. I want to try some of these because I have tried them before. They're very thick. So I want to have a play. And then I want to set them with some of these guys from L'Oreal. So these are the Brow Artist Sculpt. I've got the 2 shades, so dark brunette and also brunette. So I'm going to try those as well. And then another product I'm going to get rid of, which I actually like this product. It's just I've got too many brow products like it. I've got a lot of brow powders in my life, and even though I don't mind this is something that I might, you know, see if my mum likes. It's got a cream pan that's sort of like already sort of set. And then I've got, there's a powder. Now the cream's not bad, and it's got a highlighter as well, but I just don't use it, and they're very, very old, but the colors are not bad. This is where I get torn. Do I keep it? Do I pan it? What do I do? Okay, so I'm gonna try with these guys first, and you can tell that I got these at a PR thing. I didn't buy all of the shades. They're not as pigmented as they look. Is that because my hand is a little bit wet? But that's a lighter shade. And then we've got a medium shade. These actually aren't too bad. Like, they're not great, but I thought they were gonna be a lot softer. I haven't used them, I used them ages ago, but I haven't used them for a very long time. That's the shades. I might try the middle shade. I just feel like these are not very practical if you need to shape your brows. If you just need to fill them in, sure, but I really need to shape my brows. Look, they're not the worst, but they're not the best. Yeah, if you need to like shape your brows, they're not great. But just filling in really quickly, they're not the best. They're not the worst, they're not the best. Not for me though. I am gonna get rid of these. They're too chunky and imprecise. I'm gonna try this wax because I kind of like these firm waxes over pomades. I'm gonna see it with this little brush. See if we can sort of correct what we've been doing. Not really. Doesn't really show up much. Okay, my brows look woeful. Okay, even though that has potential and I don't hate this, I'm not going to use it. It's really old, and I prefer other stuff that I've got in my collection. Now let's try this brunette, which looks like diarrhea colored. So it's a bit of a strange thing. It's a little bit offensive. I find it like, oh, what is that? It's like an alien weird thing. Okay, let's see if we can, looks like mustard. So I guess you can fill in spots with this weird tip, and then you can sort of, oh, this is scary to use. No, I'm not a fan. No, I really much prefer these really finer, smaller, oh, that went far. I much prefer the smaller, easier to control brow wands because there's just too much room for error here. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of liners. This one is super old. The Lime Crime Uni Liner, great color. If you build it up, it looks really kind of flaky. It's a cool color though. I kept this sort of for like weird stuff that I never got around to doing. But that's probably about 6 years old or 5 years old, so that's going. 2 Mary Kay liners. I don't support our MLM brands, so I'm not going to use that. The things that I do quite like, so I've got 2,000 hour liners. These are actually not too bad. These are designed to have a growth, kind of lash growth serum in them. And when you're applying them, I think you're supposed to put it on like clean eyes, so no like eyeshadow and stuff, but it is supposed to have serum in there that help grow the lashes. Now, I don't hate that, and I think these are really nice liners. I've just had them for so long. I'm just curious if I should get rid of them. The brown is really nice too because it's a beautiful dark brown. I might actually keep these for a little bit longer because they are really nice formula. The brush is a little bit flimsy to use, but the formula is really nice. Then I've got this by Revlon. It is the Color Stay Skinny Liquid Liner in Green Spark. Now I bought this because I had the blue one and I love the blue one. I've still got it. It's not being decluttered. And I went back and bought the green one because I liked it so much. That's the color there. It's actually a beautiful color. If that was actually in focus. I'm actually going to try this today and see if I like it and if I want to keep it or get rid of it. So let's try some liner. So it's very liquidy, but it's nicely pigmented. I've got it all over my lashes and that's a bit shit, but it is a nice color. All right, that's actually a very nice looking liquid liner. It applies very easily. The color's quite nice. It's not a color that I've been reaching for a very long time, which is why this has just been sitting in a drawer, but I don't hate it. So, and I don't have another liner that's quite like it. So I might keep it for a little while longer. All right, we're getting there, guys. So Mary Kay mascara going. Physicians Formula. This is an Argan Wear mascara. We got this in a pack when we were destroying some Physicians Formula stuff, and I did try it, but I think it's not too bad. It's just very, very natural, and I tend to like quite intense mascara. This is actually not bad. All right, so it definitely lengthens, it definitely volumizes, and it's quite good at separating. Like, it doesn't go too clumpy. So look, I'm not gonna hate on it. It's probably a little bit too, oh, I just got it on my wing, that's all right. It's probably a little bit too natural for something like filming, but on every day, it's actually not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm gonna keep that for a little bit longer. Okay, now onto lips, and I love ColourPop lippy sticks, but once again, this is a color that I do not like. I didn't actually buy this. I bought it, but it was in a pack, so I didn't get to choose the color. This is in the shade Upside Down. It's a matte X formula. It's this really light sort of peachy color, and let's see what it looks like. Nicely pigmented, but looks like balls on me. That is not pretty. Look, if you want a really light peach, that's one for you, but it's not for me, so no. All right, so that's the end result. I was actually surprised that I'm keeping a few products out of that. There are a few products that I might pass on to people. I'm gonna give this to my mum. This is perfectly good to pass on to someone else. but if I don't pass it on, I'm getting rid of it. And then I'm keeping a few things I didn't expect to keep. So I'm keeping this Dusty Girls eyeshadow. This is just the cream matte one because it's good for just setting it like a base. I'm giving these liners another go because they're all very good liners, and my problem is I just haven't been using them. And then this mascara that I had in a drawer for ages, it's actually not a bad mascara. So also, I saved this, even though I really had psyched myself up to get rid of it. I think it's staying for a while. Staying for a while. These are the products I'm getting rid of, so I'm quite happy to see them go. I know that a lot of people will love some of these, and it's not so much about they're bad products. It's just that some of them don't suit me, don't suit my coloring. I've got better things. They're really old. I had them in a drawer and I forgot about them for a long time. So it's just that kind of thing. So it's about personal preference. Makeup is subjective. It's all about how it makes you feel, what your experience with it is. And with these, my experiences aren't great enough for me to want to keep them. Are they bad products? Not necessarily. It's just that I've got better products, or yeah, they're old and I don't want them. So hopefully you found that moderately interesting. I kind of do this just naturally as I play with makeup, but what I might do once every couple of months is gather a bunch of stuff and test it on camera to see, you know, what do I really think? What do I want to keep? What don't I want to keep? And sort of why I'm doing that. And you can possibly see some of the examples of why I'm doing it. But if you found that interesting, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to go now and wash this off because I'm going out to dinner later, and I'm not going out like this. It's not happening. And now the lighting is much better, just as I'm going. It is what it is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.